Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be talking about Halloween Ends and who's that one character that we need to keep our eyes on. Here we go.
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and
Okay, as we all know, Halloween Ends is just around the corner this October. And I know a lot of people that are probably watching this. You may be a little nervous about how this trilogy is going to end. You may have had issues with Halloween Kills. Hell, you might have had issues with Halloween 2018. But as a fan of the franchise and also a fan of these first two movies, I, for one, I'm pretty excited about the possibilities that we're going to get in Halloween Ends. I think that the film crew, David Gordon Green, the actors, the actresses, I think they've put in a lot of great work and they've shown a lot of care and respect for the franchise. So me, I'm excited. I really, really am. I really, really, really am. So here's my thing. Everybody's wondering about what's going to happen to Michael. Everyone's wondering what's going to happen to Laurie, and we'll get to that. There'll be a time for that. But for this video, what I want to do is I want to talk about someone else in this equation that I think really needs to be talked about. I want to talk about Andi Matichak, who plays Allison. I think her character is going to be very important in this movie. It might be the most important character in this movie, and there's a lot of reasons for that. If we look at the trilogy, if you look at Halloween 2018, that was definitely Laurie. That was her story. You know, she was back in the franchise as the character. Jamie Lee was back as the actress, and the whole story was shaped around how she had been handling the trauma of dealing with Michael. Now, Halloween Kills, I think that was much more about Haddonfield, but it also featured a lot from Judy Greer. And I think that her character had such a great arc. I mean, Karen went from not believing much about the boogeyman, not believing much in her mother, to becoming someone that not only took the reins, took the bull by the horn, but she was very, very good in this movie. And of course, that made the ending of Halloween Kills all that much more sad, with her seemingly dying. Now I say seemingly because look, I'm gonna be real, you never ever know in these movies what's gonna happen. If I was to guess, I'm gonna say that she died. And these are all spoilers. I mean, you guys should know this by now anyways. And I think the reason for that will be the fuel for her daughter, Allison. And I think Allison is going to have a huge change in her character in this movie. I think she's going to be very much more like her grandmother was in Halloween 2018. And you could see, look man, you could read the signs in the sand. In Halloween 2018, she was telling Laurie Strode, her grandmother, to let the boogeyman go. Let it go. Don't worry about it anymore. It's cost you so much. It's cost you your family. It's cost you your life. It's cost you relationships. And then in Halloween Kills, Allison took a leadership role in trying to hunt Michael down. She went after Michael and had some really great scenes, especially in that final act. So you could already see her character arc going in a different direction, and I think it's going to continue this way in Halloween Ends. I think she's going to be totally obsessed by Michael. I think she's going to be totally obsessed with the mythology of the boogeyman. I think she's going to be looking for Michael. Now, of course, we still don't know any specific details on what Michael has been up to for these 4 years, because there's going to be a 4-year time gap. We'll get to that. I have ideas and theories and thoughts and hopes about what that might be, but I'll get to that later. But I think in those 4 years, I think she's going to become such a hardened individual, and I think it's going to be weighing on her so heavily. Because you got to remember, she lost her father in Halloween 2018, You know, they didn't even give enough time for her to really deal with that. And then in Halloween Kills, she loses her mother. You know, she almost lost her grandmother because obviously Laurie was badly injured at the end of Halloween 2018. And on top of that, she loses her boyfriend. I mean, seriously, I think Andi Matichak is going to have so much weight in this movie. I think as an actress, she's going to have a hell of a lot to do, which I, for one, I'm really excited to see because I think she's a really good actress. I'm very excited about the possibilities of her career, not just in these Halloween movies. I think she just has a lot of talent. And she's shown a lot of range in these first two movies, as well as other things that she's been in, but we'll get to that at some other point too. So I think that her character is going to be as hardened as we've seen, and I think it's going to be very reminiscent of what Laurie Strode, how she was depicted in Halloween 2018. Now you've got to remember, in Halloween Kills, Laurie started to see what the mythology of the boogeyman is really all about. I think she started to understand how that evil infects people, how it infected her, how it was infecting her family. And I think that that's going to be something that will be interesting for Laurie Strode as a character. And I've talked about this on the channel on a few different occasions. We've talked about it on the Lethal Collective channel, which, by the way, if you're not subscribed to the Lethal Collective, please check out the Lethal Collective and subscribe, as well as the Nightwatch Zone. But I think that Laurie Strode, her character arc will be the opposite way. I think that she's going to be coming to terms with what has happened. I think she's going to be healing in some way, shape, or form. Whereas Allison is going to go into that dark region, that dark territory, as we say on this channel. And it will be up to Laurie Strode to kind of help her, just like Allison was trying to help Laurie in 2018, in Halloween 2018. I think that, number one, it makes these characters interesting. It shows that they have a lot of range and weight. I mean, this is something that we have never seen in Halloween movies. Now, granted, this is a trilogy, so you have the opportunity to continue these character arcs. But seriously, guys, I know some people are very nervous about what's going to happen in Halloween Ends, but I just gotta give credit to the filmmaking crew. I gotta give credit to David Gordon Green, because it's interesting to see these characters be so different movie to movie. That's another thing too. It would have been very easy for these characters to be written the same way, for them to be acted the same way, but instead we see different versions of them. And I absolutely believe, with my heart, I'm going to say it right now, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, you guys have heard it here first, from me anyways, I think that these characters are going to be so different than what we've seen. Allison is going to be a badass chick. I totally believe that. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when she finally faces off with the Shape. Don't get me wrong, Laurie Strode's going to be there too to help out. There's no doubt about that. And I think the ending is going to be fantastic. It's going to be the three of them. And I really, really can't wait to see how they decide to end this franchise. Or I should say this trilogy. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Let's have a conversation. What do you think is going to happen to Allison? How different will her character be? Is she the one we've got to watch out for? Anyways, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Nightwatch. Peace.